.com and like Cage Seats and Bleacher Report, and suddenly they were all reporting like jokingly Paul Heyman's going to be the Pope, and I was like, wait a minute. I just came up with this, and then 5 minutes later, all these other people.
They didn't give you credit?
Well, of course not, because everyone steals. I guarantee you, people steal people's like tweets and like touts, and they watch them and then they redo them. Because I've seen people's, and I'm like, that looks exactly like mine.
Well, yeah, there's little journalistic integrity with wrestling websites, which is actually made apparent earlier this week when, again, our friends at WrestleChat.net, there was a rumor that came out that Cena and his wife have gotten a divorce.
Yeah.
And that the rumor was that he had cheated on her with this porn star. I don't have her name written down here.
I do. I heard.
And I guess all the websites were running with it, and I was keeping up on Twitter, and the guys at WrestleChat were saying like, "There's no source attached to this. Like, what are you guys talking about? There's no legitimacy." And so they actually tracked down that porn star whose name I don't have, and talked to her, and she's like, "Yeah, no, that's just bullshit. Like, none of us."
Yeah, I saw that story.
Yeah.
Probably TMZ found her after that. And the WWE, I bet $1 million is burying that story like as fast as they can. They probably talked to her and was like, "Here, I'm gonna give you this money. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't say anything." And then there she goes, blabbing her mouth.
So you think it happened?
I don't think it happened, but it's still bad publicity.
Oh, of course it is.
He's the number one Make-A-Wish Foundation celebrity, so he's like on top of the world there, over 300 kids,
right. And
you don't want that associated with porn stars.
Yeah, well, they're just actresses like anybody else.
True, but it's shunned upon.
It is, and you don't want to ruin the squeaky clean image of John Cena. Definitely not.
Jerry Lawler that night also quoted Paul Heyman as saying, "I honestly think Paul Heyman was trying to upstage the Pope."
Yeah.
I loved it. So clearly they were obviously playing off the Pope angle. And Paul Heyman, I started touting and I tweeted a couple times, but I was scared because Paul Heyman is one of my favorite characters of all time, and he's talking about how he's going to retire. And at the same time, I'm thinking, well, CM Punk's busy with his own world because we haven't seen those two together in a couple of weeks because Brock Lesnar's been showing up. So I was kind of worried about all this happening, and then CM Punk, thank God, he saved the day by coming down and talking down Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I mean that whole
strange hug they had.
Yeah.
These people admire you just like I do. These people look up to you just like I do. Listen to them, Paul. There's a lot of Paul Heyman guys out there, and as the crowd is booing,
I heard a couple cheers.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah,
they were deep voice men.
Yeah, guttural cheers for sure.
But the thing of that night, though, was Paul Heyman and where did Brad Maddox go? Because he got his ass kicked by the Shield a few weeks ago. And now the Shield, I don't know if they're set up to fight and lose at Elimination Chamber. And is that match suddenly going to be put in an Elimination Chamber match? Just to give us a little more for our money? Because right now, Elimination Chamber has, I believe, only like 4 matches.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the card earlier, and I wasn't too excited about it. You got
the pre-show YouTube match,
right?
Lord Tensai, Tensai and Brodus Clay versus Team Rhodes Scholars, who broke up.
I know.
And now they're back together.
Of course.
Well, they're going to lose because lately they've been both losing in single competition. So can't we just lose together?
Yeah, and they got back together earlier in the week.
Yep.
I mean, what the hell was that? All that production of we're splitting up, and they're like,
just to
we have nothing to do with you guys, nothing for you guys to do in singles competition. So.
And then Brodus Clay wants the WWE universe to go on to Twitter and try to figure out a name for them. I say Dancing Hippos.
There you go.
Or we need like a Funkasaurus name. So we need I don't know, the Raging Raptors or the Rapping Rappers.
The Rapping Rappers?
I'm sorry, the Raptors.
The Rapping
Raptors.
They don't rap though.
Well, they dance.
Yeah.
Whatever. A Divas Championship match.
Yep.
You know what? I'm just gonna take this piece of paper because I don't need to talk about the Divas Championship.
I don't even know who these people are.
Exactly. You don't need to know.
Cesaro versus The Miz.
Oh, my God, dude. The big swing.
That was awesome.
Dude, I love seeing The Miz in pain. So especially when Antonio's doing it with moves. How strong is that guy?
It's unreal. It really is.
It's unbelievable when I see that happening. When he did his finisher to the Great Khali, I was like, oh, my God, it's amazing. But he just picked up, I don't know what the Miz weighs, 230, 240.
Sure.
And he just throw him around. The big swing back and forth, an old school move used today in that manner.
Yeah, I like you said, how strong is this guy? I mean, you look at like Ryback, who's supposed to be this huge powerhouse. I think Cesaro could toss him around like nothing. I mean, this guy is like legitimately strong.
Do you know he
not just bodybuilder, Batista?
Oh no, that's what's amazing. He doesn't look. He looks cut.
He does look big,
but not compared to like you said, like Ryback.
Right?
You're like, wow, Ryback is huge.
No way.
But Antonio's like, oh, I'm going to pick you up.
That deadlift lift thing that he does.
The equalizer.
Well, no, when he picks the guy up and does the gut wrench
yes,
just off the ground.
Yep.
That's some serious strength, man. Because that's dead weight. Those guys aren't.
They aren't
going up for you.
Yeah, I know. And do you know he doesn't sleep on a bed?
Yeah, he sleeps on the ground.
Yeah. Yep. And he never takes escalators
He's
or
like Bob
elevators. Yeah, he takes the stairs everywhere.
I take the stairs everywhere too.
Oh,
if it's like only 2 flights.
Oh, okay.
Anything over 2 flights, then I'll take the elevator.
He probably is like, I'm gonna climb this whole hotel just for the fun of it.
Maybe.
That's a date for him. He's like, hey, honey,
I can carry you up these stairs.
Over and over again. But what do you think's going to happen there? Is The Miz going to get the title, or is Antonio going to WrestleMania with that championship?
I hope he's going there with the championship.
I hope he has a match, like a singles match. I hope the titles get respect. I want the Intercontinental title match. I want Wade Barrett as champion.
Yep.
Fighting, I guess he can fight Kofi Kingston.
Hey,
Kofi Kingston. Ding, 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 ding.
Kofi Kingston reference.
But Wade Barrett and Antonio need to go to WrestleMania, singles matches. I don't know who should they fight. You need to build it towards something.
Yeah.
Maybe a William Regal can fight Wade Barrett, we're
two English guys
who
fighting.
don't like each other. Yes, of course. What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
And then
how about you have them fight each other? Wade Barrett versus Antonio Cesaro. Champion versus champ.
Oh, unification? No
unification.
I'm waiting for the titles.
Let's have both belts.
Right.
Put both on Cesaro.
Oh my! I like that. But I don't think so. That will happen, Ben. I don't think it'll happen. I assume we'll have those two guys in like some bullshit 5-on-5 match. They won't get their chance at WrestleMania.
Money in the Bank?
I don't know. Last year they didn't have it because of Wade Barrett being hurt. But Wade Barrett lately has been locked up in an NXT rival with Bo Dallas.
They really need to get rid of Bo Dallas.
Hey, man, he showed some guts. I loved it. I tweeted that night on Monday night when every Monday Night Raw, sometimes we go to commercials, and there's like, tonight it's Wade Barrett. They're going to wait reindeer. And you see Wade Barrett walking out on some mysterious hallway. And Bo Dallas broke that tradition. He attacked Wade Barrett. Doesn't he know when you walk down a hallway with a cameraman in front of you, you leave. Yeah, you don't know when touches you. You leave him alone. And poor Bo Dallas, he broke the rules. And Kofi Kingston, I thought that night seriously was gonna beat Wade Barrett. I was like, he's gonna break his jobber streak because Wade Barrett came out, he's like holding his face and his gut. And he's like, oh, I'm injured. Kofi Kingston still lost.
Poor Kofi.
SOS. I hear him jumping.
Oh. Yeah, well, speaking of Money in the Bank, one of the things I was hoping might happen at Elimination Chamber, but probably won't because obviously whoever wins the Elimination Chamber is going to become the number one contender. Mm-hmm. I was hoping at the end of the Del Rio Big Show match, since Dolph Ziggler, he's got nothing to do, comes down, cashes in on hopefully a victorious Del Rio, wins the title, and then we have a rematch at WrestleMania. Dolph Ziggler versus Del Rio. Because that match they had on main event was pretty awesome, and I'd like to see more of that.
All right.
But unfortunately, that can't happen.
I like it, though.
I know. I really like it, too.
I like it. But but then the Big Show, who's Big Show fighting WrestleMania if that happens? Ryback.
Yeah, give him Mark Henry again.
Give him Mark Henry again. Yeah, I guess so. I could just feed him.
And Ryback. Triple threat.
Well, Ryback, I feel like he'll be put in another crappy 3-on-3 match at WrestleMania. It'll be like the Shield.
Yeah, because what are you gonna do with the Shield?
Right. They shouldn't disappear. I doubt they have WrestleMania matches. They'll probably appear to beat up somebody. But they did come out though on Raw, the Shield, to intimidate John Cena, and I loved one of the things that Seth Rollins said. He says, "John Cena, you suck at life."
Okay.
And I just loved how they were just really getting to them. One of them was, in case you haven't noticed, when the Shield wants to deliver a message, we do it through action. If you want us, come get us. You laid the groundwork, John, for an entire generation to believe in the system. I loved it. I love the Shield. They're just a new group.
So what do you think's going to happen in Elimination Chamber with the Shield?
Oh, John Cena will pin somebody.
Yeah. It's kind of a throwaway match, don't you think?
Yeah. Just to get John... It's like John Cena needs something to do until WrestleMania. So like, all right, let's just put you guys in this match. Like, it feels like Ryback and Sheamus could cost each other a match by accident, and then you get Ryback for Sheamus at WrestleMania. The Shield does nothing. They just help CM Punk or somebody.
Yep.
And then John Cena versus The Rock. And CM Punk can get help for Undertaker. These are my dreams.
Yeah, no, I don't see the Undertaker coming back. But yeah, looking at the Elimination Chamber card, it's kind of weak, don't you think?
Really weak as being a few hours away because they haven't announced anything else as of today to give us more incentive to pay $55, $60 to see this thing. I just saw The Rock for CM Punk last month.
Yeah.
So what?
I know we saw Del Rio versus Big Show.
Right. So 2 matches right there I just saw last month.
Yep.
The outcomes probably are going to be the same.
Yeah.
So No Way Out. Oh, I'm sorry. Elimination Chamber. It used to be No Way Out. Have always been like...
Yeah, it's tough.
It's hard because you're like trying to get from... Yeah, this is the B spot, you know, A, B, C. And right now you're like, well, who cares? You got to get to one spot, so let's just give you some, you know, crappy, not some crappy matches, but throwaway matches.
Yeah, well, I mean, it should be more of a showcase for your mid-carders or for guys that are fighting for, you know, a spot in WrestleMania, you know, maybe in the lower card, you know. It should be more of a showcase of that, but instead we have, you know, matches with big guys like Ryback and Cena and Sheamus going up against the Shield in a match that we all know what's going to happen. I mean, it could be a good match.
Yeah, it'll probably be a good match. But it won't be...
Yeah, it's not really...
It's not like I'm like, oh my God, I have to see the Shield versus... Yeah. Like, I had to pay on TLC in December. I bought that because it was the Shield's first match. And I was like, oh my God, what are these guys going to do? So I've already seen their first match. I've seen what they can do.
Yeah.
That was enough for me.
There's no, like, interesting stipulation to it or anything. No. It's just a 3-on-3 match. As
of right now, the rumor was it was going to be a war game style match where, you know,
that's cool.
You get all the pods obviously to start, but it's just how it works. Except each team member gets a new team member as time goes on. But Vince McMahon turned it down on Triple H. Triple H was like, "We should do this," and Vince is like, "Nope." Like, I didn't create it. Why? Why does he always put down people? Like, there's wrestlers like Booker T and even Rob Van Dam. The Hurricane, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him a Hurricane. Sugar Shane Helms.
Love me some Sugar Shane Helms.
These wrestlers were huge in WCW, even though it was floundering. They were still big characters, big wrestlers. And now, you come to this company, and Vince looks at you, and you're like, he doesn't want these characters to beat his characters.
Right.
Because he created these ones, he didn't create those ones. But when you see money, dollar signs, when they brought the Alliance over... There was only DDP, who now was no longer DDP. He was like a molester. Like, he stalked the Undertaker's wife.
Yeah, that was strange.
For like 2 months. He was DDP, man. Why can't he just be DDP?
I don't know, man.
He's a great guy, actually, today, because he has a yoga system and a rehab system, and right now, Jake the Snake Roberts is living with him, and Scott Hall, I believe, is going to come in.
Yeah. There's some chatter about that, too. And Kevin Nash having some comments.
Yep. Yeah, I read that too.
But yeah, hopefully Scott Hall can get clean. Seems like it's been rough for him for a while.
Scott Hall, yeah, he was amazing. Razor Ramon and the Outsiders and the NWO, and then I feel like sometimes you're not in the spotlight anymore, and you hear a lot of stories like that where what can replace 30,000 people chanting your name or yelling at you? Woo! Yeah. What can replace that? I don't know.
Yeah, and just think about like all that these guys sacrifice as far as like a normal life and your family and everything like that. And, you know, wrestling kind of becomes your whole world. So then when it's not there anymore, you got to try to operate within normal society. And for some of these guys,
it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's a weird lifestyle, the wrestling lifestyle.
Well, you're on the road, and you hear probably a lot of divorces.
Yeah, I mean, now I think they have like a pretty set system, so like it's not as bad as it once was. Mm-hmm. But I mean, 10, 20 years ago, the wrestling lifestyle.
Yeah, Not
Not for me.
yeah, definitely
Not for
not.
me.